I call to order the meeting of the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission for the City of Dallas at 4:30. So we will begin. At the onset of this meeting, we do have a staff announcement and to pay respect to a staff member. So I'm going to pass to our director to make the announcement.
Thank you, Chair Small. Good evening and Happy New Year to y'all. This is our first full commission meeting of the new year. And I just wanted to follow up with y'all in person as I did online. 2 weeks ago, we announced the passing of our outreach specialist, Gabriel Gonzalez. We have an update related to his services that will be held in El Paso beginning next Thursday. But I certainly wanted to take time on the record to acknowledge Gigi, as he is such a wonderful teammate, has been for us. Many of you have known Gigi for quite some time, stemming from his transition to the Latino Cultural Center and then his promotion up to our team on the Majestic, supporting the marketing division, reporting to Ashley Guevara, handling all of our social media and filling in here. Each season, we've had an opening for our board and commissions coordinator. You've seen Gigi support this commission meeting and our committee meetings at LCC as well. We certainly have missed his bubbly, bright spirit in the office and on our team. For me, Gigi is one of the teammates that is like the poster child for the type of team member you want to have on your team, always willing to help, never says no when you ask for assistance or additional support, and certainly always greets and meets folks with a smile. And so we are struggling. For many of us, it's the first time losing this team member and having to navigate what that means personally, professionally, and unfortunately, that cold side of the HR too has been very challenging for us. So I just wanted to acknowledge Gigi here. We acknowledged him in some committee meetings earlier this month as well, but now that we're all together, happy to take a moment of silence if you think that's appropriate.
Yes.
Ahead of our meeting.
So we will, please pardon us as we take a moment of silence for staff member Gigi, who has recently passed. Thank you so much, Director Philippe. Okay, as this is our first meeting, welcome, Commissioner Spellacy.
Not getting that type of welcome. See the pen I'm telling you. I didn't think you really.
But as we proceed, order, let's go. Commissioner Singh, as we do have a new commissioner, and Commissioner Pickens, I would like for you to introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Amber Pickens, your new commissioner, Commissioner Pickens. I'm excited to be here. I'm an Oak Cliff native, a Griner graduate, a Booker T graduate, St. Philip's graduate, a lot of Dallas graduates. After graduating from high school, I moved to New York. I've been in New York for the past 12 years, in Harlem specifically. I love Harlem. And I attended the Juilliard School, and I've done a variety of things, Broadway, modeling, different musical theater, some TV, film, choreography for films such as Passing, and a lot of amazing things. And I'm just most excited about serving and learning more from you all, you incredible leaders, and just bringing more arts and culture from my experience from Dallas and New York, or teaching in Durban, South Africa. I just want to bring it here and learn and grow and give. So thank you all for having me.
And I'm extremely proud of Amber. She's literally my neighbor right across the street. I've known her since she was in elementary school. So we're very welcome to the commission. As we begin our meeting today, we have public speakers. So I'm going to go through the protocol for the public speakers. I'd like to remind everyone about the rules and procedures for public speakers. We're going to ask that, is the public speaker arrived?
One is here.
Is one, sorry, Mr. Shear?
Yes, I am.
Okay, is Liz Mendoza? She's the first on the list, but she has not arrived. Is that correct? Okay. Oh, Mr. Shear, then this will be for your benefit. We'll ask that you please state your name and address for the record, as this allows the city staff the opportunity to do follow-up and contact if needed. And address all your comments to the presiding officer rather than the individual committee members. Observe the same rules, propriety, decorum, and good conduct applicable to all of our members. Making personal, impertinent, profane, slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the committee would result in removal of the room. Only one person to approach the microphone at any one time, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. So if you would take the center chair right there, and commissioners, we welcome public speaker Randy Shear.
Yes, hi. My name is Randy Shear. I live at 7027 Gaston Parkway, Dallas, Texas, 75214. Do I need to give you anything else?
Well, I understand that you're in Council District 14 and your topic is Bring Portal to Dallas.
Yes, the topic is hashtag bring Portal to Dallas.
You've got
I've
the
been here before, last year, and I had presented the idea that Portal, this electronic art piece, would have a chance to work with them to bring the Portal to Dallas. I've been working with them for over a year now. And at this time, they had contacted me mid-December to tell me that that the portal now that is in Philadelphia is the only US portal here in the US of A. And that they were determining if they were going to have either a leasing agreement broken with Philadelphia and look for other options in other cities. Now, that would include 3 cities, be it Philadelphia, which would stay in Philadelphia, and otherwise it would be funded for the operation in Philadelphia, or San Francisco, and or Dallas. What they had asked me to do was to send them a letter noting our interest. And that's due at the end of the month. But I came here just to give you an update, and of course, I'll come back if we have an update, if we actually have the portal in Dallas. I have 3 entities that I'm interested in getting signed this agreement letter. And I actually have been in touch with the mayor's office today to maybe even get the mayor to sign the agreement letter. So the agreement letter is kind of a letter of interest, basically. It's a couple pages long, and it actually draws a lot of similarities between the artist, who is Lithuanian, who's created this electronic portal to actually come for the EarthX event in April. So that puts a very short timeline in getting the portal moved from Philadelphia and implemented by the end of March. So I just really want to give you an update on what's happening. I'm hoping that our letter and our proposal to put the portal and the DMA South Plaza downtown in the Arts District and on the walking tour of art in downtown Dallas. So.
Yeah, I've never said this to a public speaker before, but you've got a minute left.
Oh,
So if you want to add anything else.
it's funny because I had my iPad actually speak for 3 minutes for me.
I remember. Yes, I remember that.
And it's really been an interesting ride for me because I've made such good friends with the Portal Group. And they're quite serious, and their philosophy, or let's say their ethos, is very similar to EarthX. They're both global entities that want to make a change in the world. So for me, I was saying to the people in Berlin, where the Portal is normally operations happen and the portal is made, that you could come and it's a whole package deal. You get the art and you get the artist and you get the meetings. Look, I mean, Dallas is hurting right now. You've got some challenges. Your AT&T is leaving. You've got Neiman Marcus is closing. You've got a lot of challenges for downtown. So this art piece would actually help the situation and start to build the downtown. Not only that, but you have the Birthday America 250 coming up. You've got FIFA games coming up. So the story is that, okay, we get the portal here, but there are still challenges in how much, how maybe like the site work to secure the site for the portal is funded. So there are still questions. Sure, EarthX is going to fund it and they're going to fund the operation of it, but there are still challenges down the road in terms of financials and what they could get to secure the South Plaza and make it a secure site, which is semi-private. A lot of the portals are in open air and they've been vandalized so I'm trying to get a situation where I presented last time the site on the South Plaza and my designs for that South Plaza. And it's not just some landscaping and some things and gates. We just secure that site. So we basically have the three entities, the DMA, the mayor of Dallas, and EarthX. And I'm hoping to get this letter signed maybe in a week. I don't have very much time.
Okay, well,
Thank you very much for having me. And I
thank
hope
you
to
so
do
much for
another
your time. Thank you for keeping us advised as to the status of the project. It sounds like a fantastic project. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Actually.
My,
Can
I, oh, no question. Okay,
Questions
sorry,
to
okay.
public speakers. Sorry about that.
Oh, so no questions?
Yes, correct. Thank you so much, Mr. Shear.
Okay.
Moving on our agenda, is Commissioner Holomo on? Yeah, I see him there. Okay, we're going to move to our community spotlight, and Commissioner Holomo made the arrangement for the community spotlight, and I want to give him the honor of making this introduction. Commissioner Holomo.
Thank you,
I think you're
Chair
ready.
Small. Happy New Year to you all. I'm really excited about Out Loud. I only became familiar with them, I guess over the past couple of years. And I hope that Allison talks about the Eisman Prize. But they've just done some amazing work. Very welcoming, very creative, and they have their own space too with the Black Box Theater north of the design. So hopefully, design district, hopefully she'll talk about that too. So very excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you have anything?
Yes, you've got the floor.
Great. I'm so grateful to be here and I'm really honored. Thank you, Augustine, for the invitation. Out Loud is a relatively young organization and we are so happy to share more about what we do. We just turned 7 years old this January, so we're really excited to be here. And I'm just gonna jump through some slides to show you. I think, you know, I can talk all day about Out Loud and what we do, but I think some of our images of our work and what our young people are creating can share the story so much better than me, just speaking to you. So I'm going to show some pictures and talk a little bit more about our programs. We are primarily a youth arts organization. And do I just click to advance? Okay, we can go to the next one. Our mission is really centered around amplifying youth voice through the arts. So all of our projects and our work has the goal of sharing what young people have to say with the community in some way. So whether that's creating a public art project or an exhibition with a local artist or an original devised performance, or bringing young people together to experience an art camp where they're trying out different disciplines that they might not otherwise have experienced. Our mission is really getting youth together to create meaningful public art and share that with the community. You can go to the next slide. We work with young people from all over the Metroplex. Most of our young people come from Dallas. We're currently serving youth from over 30 different zip codes, so they're really all over the place. And we had programs in 17 different zip codes last year. So we are at schools, we're doing programs out of our Youth Arts Center, and then some spaces like the Bathhouse Cultural Center or the LCC, other community spaces like that. You can go to the next slide. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. I know we don't have a ton of time. These are just a high-level overview of some of the programs, public programs that we offer. We would love to see any of you at our events. Most of our events are completely free for the community. All of our youth programming is completely free. We have a spoken word poetry event series in partnership with Journeyman Ink and Diverse Lounge. If any of you have ever been to one of those events, it's really amazing. Oh, Tamitha's raising a hand.
She's clapping.
Clapping, yay. So yes, we do these throughout the year. We have a whole season of shows, and we'll bring youth from different campuses to share their poetry at the events with live music, and it's really fun. You can go to the next slide. These are some of our youth, the previous slide is just images from our youth storytelling exhibition. So these are projects where we'll bring in local artists to create public art projects. And this slide is some of our devised theater pieces. Some of the images was from the Eisman Edge Prize that we won, not this past year, but the year before, at the Eisman Center, which I believe is where we met Augustine. But we bring young people together, and they're involved in every facet of the theater process, from technical direction and design to coming up with the script, and we fully professionally produce the shows. You can go to the next slide. This is our Youth Arts Center. We have about 6,000 square feet of space with a black box gallery space, an analog darkroom, we're going old school, and have some other classrooms and conference rooms. This is where we office as well. And we do youth arts programming there. And then when we get to a later slide, I'll show you some of the other things we're doing in the space. Next one. These are some images from our summer programming at the Latino Cultural Center, which is a 3-week free arts camp for middle school students. And then the next slide is images from, we can skip one, but we offer the same program at the House Cultural Center as well, serving middle school. This is really exciting. This is our newest mobile art studio. So this visits 30 different campuses annually, where we're bringing arts programming into the campuses. Space was a constraint, so we created our own space. Right now there's a original devised like puppet show musical that's going to elementary schools. This is a picture of Alejandro Perez Jr., who many of you know. He's a CAF artist. He's one of our primary artists on the bus. So he goes out and brings his looper, his djembe, and works with students on campuses. You can go to the next slide. This is the Hearth Summit Dallas. We just in December had our very first Hearth Summit. It is an arts and well-being 3-day event for change makers. So arts are interwoven throughout. Clyde was a part of it. He was one of our speakers this year, and we're really excited to get this launched. It's in partnership with a global organization called the Wellbeing Project, and we hope to make it an annual event that brings a lot of people into Dallas to see some of the amazing art that's being created here. And the next slide. And this is our newest project that we're very excited about, and we're hoping that you can help us spread the word. Space, as we know, is a huge constraint in the city of Dallas. We are so lucky and fortunate to have a black box and a gallery space. So we've identified holes in our calendar where we are not using the space for our programming. And we had an application process. This is our first year trying it, but it's going super well, where we opened it up for applications for other organizations or individual artists to apply to use the space for free. We prioritize selecting groups that amplify youth voice or have some alignment with our mission. So this year we'll have 8 different groups in the space, either doing gallery exhibitions or performances of some kind. We've already had 2 so far. And the next slide. And I'm just gonna breeze through this impact. I know we're probably out of time. You can go to the next one. But this is, we've been just growing really quickly over the past 7 years. We are, especially with our mobile, we have 2 mobile studios now. Our studios going to schools. That's really helped us reach more young people throughout the city. And we're really excited to continue to grow and continue to share what young people have to say with the community. They're creating some really powerful and amazing art. And yeah, this is kind of some more impact. So yeah, the youth from 32 different zip codes. And we're really blessed to work with so many incredible artists in our programming. So we worked with 32 last year. And I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I hope to see you guys at some of our events. And if anybody would ever like to tour our facility, we are always happy to give tours. Please reach out and we would love to show you around the space. Yeah, and please spread the word about our open house series to people or artists or arts organizations in your district. We'll open up applications again in the summer for the next round for Black Box Access.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions and comments. Commissioner,
Daniel and.
yeah, Daniel? That's.
Hello, Allison.
Oh,
Um,
hi, Damani.
Hi, friend. I just wanted to say thank you for coming and presenting. And what you all do is amazing. And I wanted to say to the rest of the commission, if genuinely, she just said, if you have a chance to come by and tour the space, please do. And I cannot encourage you guys to do that enough. I had the opportunity to go when they were doing construction in the space and even to see their vision for when they were doing construction all the way through now to how that vision has been realized is really impressive. And their buses are cool, right? They're Zen buses, like I know there's a different name, but I call them Zen buses. Their Zen buses are really amazing. And what I have always appreciated, not just for Out Loud, but for Allison's work over the many years, is how she has always authentically tried to make sure that the students that she's serving and that Out Loud is serving are actually given a realistic voice, not the placating voice that so often can be given to students who may not be professional artists, however we're defining that. So I encourage the rest of the commission, please take some time and go visit, because it is a fantastic facility, and the work that they're doing and that their students are putting out is genuinely good. Not good for students, like we can sometimes say, it's genuinely good. And so I've really honored, and this is, I got to say this, really honored that you guys are in District 6, Holler. And so I appreciate you for being here and for all the work that you guys are doing.
Commissioner Halomo and Hornbuckle and Commissioner Meek.
I just want
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. Can you just briefly share with us how your space came to be, and maybe mention some groups who are using it?
Yes, and I'll also tell you guys where it is. I guess I didn't tell you. So we are, if you know where the Pegasus Park building is, we are right across from them. We are right next to their parking lot. So we are at the tail end of their parking lot, and we have giant colorful banners with young people's faces on the outside of our building. It's super hard to miss. But if you're ever in that area or next to the community brewery right there, that's where we are. And the space we've been in since 2022, we've put in a lot of work to the space. It's been a labor of love, and young people have really helped us build it out and done a bunch of really cool murals in there. And it's truly, they've really made it their own. We were originally looking for a much smaller space. We didn't originally envision having our own black box and really turning it into a theater space, but we discovered this home, and we're lucky to sign a very long-term lease there during kind of like tail end of COVID, and it has truly evolved into a space where I feel like we can really bring the community in for public performances, but we can also host a lot of building out of our projects too. The young people in our programs, when they work on an exhibition or they're working on a performance, they're involved with building the sets. They're involved with fabricating sculptural pieces they're learning to work with tools in a shop capacity too. So we have that ability in our space. And some of the groups that are coming in to use it, the past two that we've had so far have been recent college graduates. I think there's a big need for young people, young artists, when they leave university, they like don't have access to space anymore, but they're creating really interesting work. So we had a couple, we had a beautiful dance and photography exhibition, a performance and exhibition, and we had a like 8-person comedy show put on by some 20-year-olds that were doing some really interesting, cool things. We have, many of you may have heard of Big Heart Theater. They're coming up pretty soon. We have another young woman she's fully producing a play that was in Pup Fest with Kitchen Dog, but this will have like a more full production of it. So we're really excited. We have, a teacher doing a student art exhibition, lots of different things,
I believe you answered Commissioner Meek's question as to where it was. Commissioner Hornbuckle.
But that was my question, where you're located, but I have a second question. By the way, it sounds like a fantastic program. It's very exciting. How do students get involved? Are they attached to a school? Do they just walk up to your location? How does the young people get involved?
That's a great question. So for all of our like school-based programs where we're bringing our mobile studio out to schools, they're just at school and they are coming onto our studio. But for our more focused like exhibitions or devised theater pieces, those are always open call unless we're partnering with a specific organization, but usually they're open calls. So we will reach out to our network of teachers, past participants, other community organizations, and invite young people to participate. We are less interested in prior artistic background and more interested in young people who just like have something that they want to say. And so we have young people coming from really all over the place. For our Illuminated Voices spoken word poetry program, we are partnering with schools to bus students in from poetry clubs that we're running on a variety of different campuses.
Commissioner Curiel has her hand up.
So, you answered the one question because it reminds me of another model that I used to participate with Illuminated Voices. But say I wanted to share with the schools in my community about your bus and how they could contact you about that and what you do with a bus. I see there's an app like a form you can fill out, but if I wanted to just send to them like a flyer or something about
You can even have them reach out to me directly. You can share my email.
Okay.
We still have slots for the spring semester, and having the bus come out is completely free. So it's already, that program's been funded. So for the spring semester, it doesn't cost principals anything. We'll just come out and do the programming.
And is it, when you say a program, is it like a workshop, a one-day workshop? Does it have?
We send the bus out for week-long residencies. So it'll be on a campus for a week.
Awesome.
And it serves pre-K through 12th grade. Right now, we have been doing elementary recently, but it serves all grades.
Okay,
Awesome.
Any other questions or comments?
Just what is the best email to reach?
I can leave behind some cards. That would be helpful, yeah.
Thank you so much for visiting
Thank
us
you.
out loud. As we move down our agenda, we're now down to the voting items. The minutes have been distributed to everyone. Everyone has reviewed them. Are there any questions regarding the November 20th, 2025 minutes? If not, can we get a motion?
I motion that we accept the minutes from November 2025.
Moved by Commissioner Daniel, that we accept the minutes. Commissioner Bodell has seconded. It's properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
No response. Okay, I was looking at the other commissioners here in the room. Oh, okay, okay. So any opposition? No opposition. The minutes of the November 20th, 2025 Arts and Culture Advisory Commission are approved. Is Lynn Rushton?
I'm presenting.
Okay. The next voting item is the appointment of Maria May to the Public Art Committee. Does anyone have a comment on that? Public art?
I'll set a quick context since, we, similar to, I think, what last fiscal year and the fiscal year prior, as seats come available, we go through the protocol and process of taking nominations from the public. I had to do my due diligence in vetting those nominations, conferring with Lynn to ascertain what kind of gaps exist on the Public Art Committee membership, and then looking at the nominees we have on the slate and being thoughtful and considerate about placement to ensure that the Public Art Committee membership remains diverse in regard to their vein of expertise, et cetera. And so from the pool of nominees, I'm bringing forward Ms. Maria May for your consideration.
So
Is it a slide?
Director,
See, I'm so sorry, I'm not seeing it, so.
yes, Director Philippe, so it's fair to say that
Thank you.
Maria May has been vetted and is recommended as a resident member. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can we get, is there any discussion? Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Bunning to accept Maria May as a resident
Second.
member. Seconded by Commissioner Meek. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition. Maria May is confirmed and approved by the commission as a resident member of the Public Art Committee. I will pass to Commissioner Bodell to comment in support of the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission's fiscal year 24-25 annual report. Commissioner Bodell.
Lynn, are you coming to the?
Just, this is for you. I'm just coming just in case.
That's my backup. He's been the backup the whole time. Actually, Glenn has done this whole report. Thank you so much. We have a 55-page report. I hope everyone has had a chance to look at this beautiful piece. I think one of the things we talked about several years ago, we had no photography in our annual report. And this year, over the last few years, we've been able to add more photography. We have really a nice album, I think, that has been created by the office, and we're curating more and more art. So we do love this one. I mean, it's been fun. Glenn, are you?
I'm just bringing this to.
Okay, okay, very good. So I hope everyone has had a chance to look at it. I do recommend looking at the 2-page so you can see it. It makes a lot more sense than the single page. We have sent this out 3 times. This is the version that we will be sending to the council. So come February. I do have a shout out to Glenn, and I have a shout out to Adriana and to my committee, and especially Linda, Commissioner Blaze on here as well, as she's there. But there's in a project like this, there are always going to be typos. There are always going to be misspellings. You look at it over and over and over, and you'll see something else. So I'm asking everyone to take another look, find the typos for us. We want to send a perfect document to the council. We want to make a perfect document. So that's what we're looking for, perfection here. And I think we're getting close. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, please take a look at it. I don't know. This is our final, Glenn.
It is due February 1st, but I think that's a weekend.
This is the last.
February.
By this weekend, please take a look at it. Get your eagle eyes out.
The voting item today.
Oh, we're voting today. Okay. Okay, we're voting today. But
Yes.
we do plan.
If you wanted to make, with a typo or something like that,
Yeah.
a small revision in your motion, perhaps.
Yeah.
To allow
And
for.
if not, we can go ahead and approve the annual report
Today.
that's been disseminated 3 times.
Three
already.
times, that's correct.
So that being the case, that it's been, and I want to thank everybody on that annual report committee because you guys,
You guys, no.
Adriana, I mean, God, it's incredible the amount of work that you've done. So the fact that it's been disseminated, it's ready to go. Can we get a motion in support of the approval of the Commissioner Meek has moved that we approve the annual report as submitted. A second by Commissioner Regalone. So if there's any discussion, I see Jesse Hornbuckle's hand is up. Commissioner Hornbuckle? I see your
Well,
hand.
this is probably more of a commentary. The fact that the photographs were added, it just brought it alive.
Yeah.
It was just words on paper. Now it looks like we're really engaging in art. So visually, it's very stimulating. Even though I'm a photographer, I love it.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. If there's no other comment, we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition? Thank you so much. Commissioner
Thanks, guys.
Vogel. Okay, as we move down the agenda, next, I pass to Commissioner Bragalone in support of the 26-27 COP guidelines. Commissioner Bragalone.
So we are very excited, the Allocations Committee is very excited to share the work that we've done on the Cultural Organization Program Guidelines for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027. Cultural Organization Programs, or COP, is the largest funding program of our work, and it supports all of our Dallas flagship arts organizations through much needed operational funding. Keyword there being operational funding. This year, you may remember that we moved to a 3-year cycle last year. And this year we held some optional engagement sessions for our community to learn how that was going, what they wanted and needed from this program. In particular, how they felt about moving forward with the 3 years, given that we had some challenges, things that changed after the guidelines, and just to see where they were, how they were feeling about our guidelines. Just under half of all participant organizations in the program participated. And in those sessions, we heard that operational funding is crucial to organizational success, something we all knew, but it was good to hear it directly from our arts organizations and to the success of the Dallas arts ecosystem. And in particular, we had questions about, what if your programming changes? How do we get those reports? But as we're moving into this 3-year cycle, and we heard over and over again how important general operating funding is and how little of that is out there. So this program is really crucial to our arts ecosystem here in Dallas. It confirmed the necessity of the work that we did last year in figuring out how to move this to a 3-year cycle and relieve the pressure of the application process on the arts organizations and on our staff. The multi-year funding cycle can help keep funding relatively predictable from year to year for the arts organizations. Also very crucial to operational funding to be able to know how much you can count on. And significantly reduce the application workload for returning organizations each year. So this year, 2025, 2026 represented year 1 of the program. This coming year will be year 2. And so here are some highlights of the guidelines. And thank you. I know a number of you have read them carefully, and thank you for your comments, especially on typos. Here are the highlights. First, we are significantly reducing the application workload for our returning organizations in 26-27. For returning organizations, it'll be year 2 of a 3-year program, which means if they applied last year, they'll have an application significantly shorter in length, and it will not have a panel or video process. Now, organizations can still come into the program. New organizations can still come into the program. And those organizations that come in year 26, 27 who are new, that will be their year one, and they will go through the full application process. So it shortens the process only for returning organizations. Second, with respect to the returning organizations, we will award more points for contract compliance. This means we'll be able to better award organizations who consistently do all that is asked of reporting and working with the city. Finally, we will award more points for operational management. And this is really key. This means that in off years, without a scoring panel, we can award more points for great practices in fiscal stewardship, ensuring that our city's arts funding dollars are being used in the most responsible way possible. We're excited that the opportunities to support our organizations, and we look forward to the wonderful art that we're going to experience in 26, 27, supported by this program. I do want to, at this point, give a huge shout out to Julia and her entire team. Guidelines are always complex. From a 1-year cycle to a 3-year cycle. I want to thank the entire commission, and especially the allocations committee, for taking the risk, so to speak, to not just adopt what we've always done, but to move forward and improve this process for the artist, for the office, and for the city of Dallas. And what this year's guidelines show is that all of that work last year really paid off, and we expect it to move forward and for us to continue to be able to provide great operational funding for our flagship organizations and continue to help them grow in their stewardship to the city of Dallas. So with all of that, I recommend to the commission that we accept these guidelines as presented. And if you have any questions, Julia is here to answer those.
Are there any questions or comments for Commissioner Bregalones? Are these motions or these questions? Commissioner Stachel?
I also noticed that I noticed that there were a handful of typos and such, and I sent those to Adriana earlier today. Do we need to do anything with those?
They can be incorporated after the vote.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Blaze?
Yes. Julia, thanks for your explanation to my questions, but I still have a concern about that 8-point contract compliance for people who don't have the previous contract. And you said that if they didn't, they could still have funding based on how well they do on the other requirements. So the question though is, they automatically don't get those 8 points. So is that fair? The other people who do automatically get 8 points more. So that's my question, is how do we make that a fair thing?
Thanks for that question. What we are encouraging organizations to do is move from our smaller funding programs that have lower barriers to entry up into COP as being the operational funding goal to get to. And what we found is that organizations that have worked with us in other contracts leading up to COP are easier able to adopt all of the reporting structure that we have to have, all of the length of the application, working with a commissioner, making sure they fill out the final report correctly. All of those things are much easier if they have prepared with us along the way. So it is not impossible to get this funding without having a contract with us before in one of our smaller sort of lead up programs to COP. It's certainly not impossible. In fact, the Dallas Contemporary is one such organization that we're funding this year through COP, but was not part of those smaller programs. However, we found that for other organizations like Young Leaders Strong Cities applied for COP without having done work with us in other programs first and was not successful the first round and had a weaker application. And then they came back and had done an Arts Activate with us. And lo and behold, the COP application was stronger too, because they knew what the city was looking for, how to do it, that they were ready for the reporting structure. So it is not at all impossible to get COP without those 8 points. However, we really do want to incentivize people to do that first. And they have time between now when we publish the guidelines to go ahead and get that done in round 3 of Arts Activate, even this year, and get involved that way so that they can have that practice with us before jumping into COP. And what that allows us to do on the back end is be really sure that all of these dollars that we are awarding out go to organizations that are ready for the, quite frankly, red tape that we have to have as a city to maintain the fiscal stewardship that we need for the funds for this program.
Did that address your question, Commissioner Glaze?
Yes, yeah, it did. It did. I still have a few little qualms about it. I mean, I understand that what we're trying to do to get them to start with the smaller grants and then move up. I absolutely understand that. And I understand that doing that makes it more likely that they will be able to achieve the requirements for the COP. It still just seems weird that we're allowing people to apply without having had those other grants, and they automatically then cannot get 8 points in their scoring. But I understand where we're coming from, and I think that it's valid, but it's just a little weird to me.
We understand your concern. Commissioner Truzilla.
Thank you, Chair. I mentioned this in the Allocations Committee that I have been on this commission now, I think it's 8 years. And this is the biggest change that we have made in my tenure. And I just want to congratulate the staff, Julia in particular, and this commission for being very diligent in making sure that we're doing the right thing for the arts and we're doing the right thing with taxpayer dollars. So congratulations.
Agree.
Okay, well, Commissioner Bragalone has made the recommendation in support.
Question.
Oh, okay, Commissioner Bunting.
Contract this year?
So that's actually a simpler
Sorry.
question. So I do, one thing I do want to clarify is they still will always sign 1-year contracts because we never know what our city budget is going to be for this program that far in advance. So it's a 3-year program in terms of you do one big application in year 1 with a panel and a video, right, of the history of your organization, and it is a long, you know, from having read many of them as panelists.
Having done them, yeah.
It is big, but then the idea is years 2 and 3, we're just checking up and making sure you're still doing what you're doing, but it's still a new contract with the allocations deciding their funding every year because we don't get our city budget in terms of 3-year periods. We only get 1.
But the ones that got it the first year will get funding the second.
As long as they remain in compliance,
Right.
yes, that's the idea.
So you'd have to have new dollars for the new folks to get,
Correct.
and they might have to go through the whole process and not know, based on what the budget process is, if there's gonna be money available or not.
Correct, but in our.
And some
defense,
folks
that's
may
how-
fall out too, right?
Well, and to be, if I
No,
may
no.
add to this, to be honest with you, that happens in year to year anyway, because we don't go, historically, in the time that I've been on the committee, I have never seen a recommendation where we were reducing everybody in order to be able to bring somebody in. As a practical matter, it happens anyway. I mean, that issue of waiting to see if we have more money to bring in new organizations, that happens whether you're on a 1-year cycle or a 3-year cycle. And we will be looking at the recommended awards in the allocations committee, even though we hope to be able to keep some consistency, we will make recommendations for funding each year that will be dependent upon what the budget is. Am I stating that? You can probably say it better, Julia.
Yes, ma'am. Just safely put, we get our budget in August, and if we got all the applications in August, there's no way we would be done with all the contracts by October. So people are applying in April for a budget we don't know.
We don't know about, so it happens anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a much more concise way to say it.
I wish.
It's more formal that the 3 years are in place pretty much for the ones that got it. And so
Yes.
I would, if I was an organization and knowing what the budget's gonna be roughly every year, I would have to think about the long process of applying, knowing that it's really probably difficult to move up. because there's not gonna be a lot more dollars and you're not gonna wiggle a lot of dollars from somebody to fund a new organization.
But we've added organizations every year. This year, we added 8 organizations. How many did we add? We've added, we added 12. We have
Many, seven or 8.
I was thinking 7. Yeah.
No, we added
maybe
some.
8, and then we
We added-
bumped it up to 12 because we dropped down. Anyway, we've
Yes.
added organizations every year, so.
Okay.
But
Bigger
you are.
pot of money or a smaller pot of money or little money?
No, we've had more money.
I want to interrupt this lively discussion here, but because it's kind of getting into committee discussion. We have a recommendation made by Commissioner Bragalone. If there are any other comments on the recommendation, Commissioner Trezilla, your hand is still up. I don't know if you. Okay. We've got a recommendation. Chair would entertain a motion. Commissioner Meek. And it's been seconded by Commissioner Spells.
If there was one already.
Okay, we've already, in the room, we have a motion and a second, the recommendation in support of the COP guidelines. No other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition. Thank you, Commissioner Bragalone. The recommendation has been adopted. Moving the agenda. Next, we vote to recommend 21 additional panelists to the Office of Arts and Culture's funding programs. And I believe Julia will brief and make that recommendation.
Sure, I can be very quick about this. As always, we have, but for new commissioners, we have this review panel of several hundred people that are kind enough to volunteer their time to read these wonderful applications and decide who gets funding. So the next one coming up will be Arts Activate Round 3, and these are some folks that have signed up to do that. So in general, the requirements for this are you got to be 18, you have to live or work in Dallas, you have to be involved in the Dallas art scene, you got to tell us how, and you have to be willing to give some pretty serious time to giving thoughtful written feedback to artists and applicants. So these 21 folks have stepped up and said that they'd like to do that. You'll notice that some of them are on behalf of COP organizations. They get points out of those new guidelines that you just ratified. They get points for nominating somebody to this panel and more points if they actually do the volunteering. So that's who those folks are, and they'll do that on behalf of their COP organization. So
For the record, all of these 21 additional panelists have been vetted by the staff and are recommended. Is that correct?
and the allocations committee. They
And
have
the
the allocations committee.
Our recommendation that they all be
Yes.
selected.
Okay. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, can we get a motion? Commissioner Pickens, his motion that we accept the 21 additional panelists to the Office of Arts and Culture's funding programs. Can we get a second? Commissioner Bodell, I was first to second. No other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition, so the 21 additional panelists recommended for the Office of Arts and Culture's funding programs are approved. Thank you so much, Commissioner Bragalone.
It's all Julia.
That's Julia as well. I'm going to skip down to the director's update. I have, my report was just going to be to introduce Commissioner Pickens. And by the way, so the liaison assignments, those have already gone out. Everybody's seen those. We've had no comment from that. Never got the, did it go out?
Well, they went out a long time ago, so there was a pause on them, but are they all?
Is there any comment on the list that went out? I thought everyone.
I was fine, but I thought we were waiting for some reason to make.
We were waiting for comments to see if anyone was gonna comment on their.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna change them.
Change one.
Are you joking? Okay.
So y'all need an email, a final, or just an
You wanna
email,
file-
flat out? You want to
Yeah.
see them on email? And
Yes.
on with this? All right,
What
Julia.
what you will receive,
I'm waiting for the staff to send the letters out to the
yes,
organizations. I mean,
What-
where are we on this?
what you will receive,
Got
what
informed
you,
stories, so I just. want to make sure we're-
hold on. What you will receive will be, the email that's discussed this with Adriana, the formal introduction between yourself, and the organization, and a little guideline, a one-sheeter guideline of, what we are to do. So all that is forthcoming. Is that correct, Adriana? On the liaison, the, email with the, introduction and Julia?
Yes, so we were waiting to make sure we heard everybody's preferences and got all the dominoes shuffled. We got them. So there will be a one pager that Chair Small just said that will come to you with an introduction to your organization. It will say, like, dear Organization A, so excited to introduce you to Commissioner so-and-so. Your responsibilities are attached in this little PDF. We hope you enjoy each other's company. Sure, it's nice. All you need to do is respond to that, and you'll be connected to the main point people at your organization, usually the executive director and the development director, or whoever they put as the grant manager. The one pager outlines your responsibilities based on conversations that we had in ACAC a few months ago. They include meeting with the organization once before October and going to one thing.
And just FYI, since the last meeting, we have a new commissioner, Commissioner Pickens. So we just got with her and we're firming up hers. She agreed with Commissioner Hornbuckle that she will take, I'm sorry?
We'll still make that happen, but that organization you're about to say did not actually
Oh,
belong to the
okay.
commission.
Okay, then I'll reserve that comment, but yeah, so since she was not here last time, we did have to make accommodations for Commissioner Pickens. All right, we're moving on our agenda. So our director.
Thank
update.
you, Chair Small. All right, so I just have a few updates. First, I thank you all for your time and your support, your flexibility. I wanted to have as many one-on-ones as possible ahead of our staff transition, and so I've had to reschedule a few things as we've been taking care of related matters. So thanks for your understanding and flexibility, and I do look forward to seeing the rest of the one-on-ones noted on my calendar. It's always a great time to connect with y'all and hear from you and share with you what's happening off the record. But anyway, Dallas Arts Marketing. So if you're not aware, there's a shift happening related to Go See DFW. There was an announcement made last month in December from the partners who manage that platform, noting that the platform has reached its end. They took final submissions from arts organizations who wanted to promote on the platform for this quarter. And so at the end of this quarter, end of March, beginning of April, there will no longer be a Go See DFW platform. That is unfortunate news, but the wonderful news is that there are a number of arts partners at the table now ironing out a solution that we'll be announcing at the Dallas Arts Month press conference in March. The tentative date for said press conference is the 26th of March. I believe that's a Thursday morning. Most likely will be held at the Latino Cultural Center Black Box again. We got some great feedback last year. At any rate, again, the good news is we've got the right partners at the table to find a solution that allows our artists and friends to still promote their activities so that visitors and residents alike can find them and support them as patrons. So have no fear. March 26th is the tentative date for our Arts Month press conference. But that's where we'll be announcing our new arts marketing platform. Okay, next question, sorry, gallery. Okay, I'll move forward. As far as divisional updates, so we were together in November, and forgive me if I did not announce that we have the nighttime division within the bounds of our office. You may be aware that there was some confusion about that, though it was noted in the budget book as a transition. We had a pause, but they are with us, along with commercial film permitting and pole banner market permitting functions. The nighttime division was receiving a lot of attention over the last few months, and really excited about the work that we get to do in support of the task force that Councilman Chad West has stood up. Commissioner Daniel is participating, as well as the membership of the nighttime division staff, myself and Claudia, our global cities lead, and the coordinators supporting the very important work to update some of the antiquated measures noted in city code, working in conjunction with the planning department and their team and the code compliance division, ensuring that all of the updates and decisions we are making that will benefit the nighttime stakeholders and focus on public safety measures and ensure that these business owners essentially can do their thing without having to worry about code enforcement is all underway, and we're making really great progress to that end. So that's that for that division update. I've been getting some questions offline from you all about what we're up to and how things are going. I would qualify things as going well. Next month, I hope that we'll be able to announce our interim management plan for the nighttime division. And soon you'll see the actual vacancy for the nighttime manager position posting, as we'll have to move forward with a formal recruitment for that vacancy. But that'll all be probably posting before we next see each other in February. So I want to make sure y'all are aware of that. I'll hold there for any questions or comments. Learn more about city code than I thought I would ever have to.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. So, all right, skill. Hello. Dallas Cultural Plan is my final point to share an update about. If you were watching City Council briefing held in December, early December, you would note the omnibus briefing presentation led by our very graceful Assistant City Manager Liz, various departments who had to push up updates and edits, suggested edits to our respective policies and plans to ensure that we remain federally compliant during this season. And so the cultural plan was pushed up in that omnibus review for revision. And now we are currently sitting with a document that is essentially redlined, which suggests that it needs to be updated and finalized in a sense. And so I think something we can sit and reflect on is if that document, like the annual report, should sit with a working group of this committee. Could be Commissioner Meek's previous or another variation of that to get that document shored up in a way that we can present it forward to the Quality of Life Council Committee and the Assistant City Manager so that I don't have to look at a redlined cultural plan and cry myself to sleep. So that's my, it's a suggestion / ask. I just think it's important for us to be working with a final draft document, not this skip a page style relationship with the 2018 doc. I'll hold. Ma'am.
Mr. Meek.
I just wanted to go on record as saying that, I wrote a letter to all of the city council people, basically objecting to the whole redlining of that document, and instead suggested that they simply sunset. That it was due to be done anyway, so it would not be a unusual thing to say, let's sunset it, as opposed to gutting it and making it meaningless. That's what I wrote to all of the city council people. I only got a response from my own city council person.
Director.
There are still many priorities within our 2018 policy and plan that remain or seem to remain as priorities today. And so I want to acknowledge those. I want to acknowledge how across our divisions, we have, ready to wordsmith. We have, enhanced our approach to other priorities to include access and impact in a more formal way. And so I want to ensure that as we move forward, we're still, uplifting those 4 priorities and, with a handle on what we want to do in regard to arts, cultural arts access and impact. And again, just working the document as it's following omnibus into, a formal document that we should be working from. I don't find it wise to give my team marching orders from a red line document. It needs to be something in a more final state. So, but I cannot do that without them.
So we'll.
If the chair will, we'll
Yeah, we'll
get there,
discuss
but if the chair will
reconvening
entertain
for that purpose.
reconvening a working group for us to support staff in this next leg of working through this document. Because the first leg was staff-led to include the city attorney's office, et cetera. It's just to me, now we're back in the public realm and we need to work it through this body in the next step.
So for that purpose, we we will certainly reconvene to assist the director.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Anything
That's all.
further?
No, folks in the gallery.
Commissioner Hornbuckle. Commissioner
Chair,
Valentino.
Chair, I think this question is probably for you. Do we need to have as a body, if we decide to sunset that document, do we need the council's support on that, or can we just sunset it?
We can, the council will have to take action on it. We can only make a recommendation. And for us to do that, we need a group of commissioners to. We already have the subcommittee that has basically been inactive pending this review. So we'll probably, or not probably, we will reconvene for that purpose. Commissioner Valentine.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to add that if the director is making that request to the advisory commission, that I'd be willing to serve in that capacity along with others.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Meek leads that effort. Oh, aren't you already on that committee, Clyde?
Yeah.
You're already on it.
I thought that was that had changed given the changes. So if there was a reconstitution,
But we're talking
The
about,
Access and Impact Committee.
yes, we're talking about convening that group for the purpose of this.
Access and Impact Committee.
That's what we're discussing.
okay.
That's real.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Moving the agenda. Next, we have a briefing memo, Arts Activate 2026 on 2 allocations. Thank you. Lynn and Julia.
Okay.
So this is just a brief by memorandum, the allocations committee. Hi, Glenn Ayers, Assistant Director for the Office of Arts and Culture. It's just, we're trying to get into a practice of letting the full commission know some of the work from the allocations committee, since the recommendations for this funding program stop with the allocations committee, as is in alignment with the cultural policy. But we want to make sure that you know all of the work that's going on. So you'll see a full list of those organizations and artists that were recommended for funding, how much, and then short little brief summaries of what those project proposals look like. And so it's just a brief by memorandum, and I and Julia are here for questions, if you have any.
Commissioner Bragalone.
I would encourage you, at some point, we'll have a calendar with the dates for these projects as they begin to happen. And if you've never seen an Arts Activate project, it can really be life-changing in terms of having an understanding of how this program works within the city of Dallas and how it really is a feeder program into bigger funding programs, not only with the city of Dallas, but it helps these smaller artists and organizations learn how to do an application with other organizations and makes them more prepared to do that. And you will be surprised and delighted at the projects. They're incredible. I mean, they are really, really incredible. And the vast majority of them are done by small organizations and single or small groups of artists. And it really, so I encourage you, we've approved the money, get out and see the, if nothing else, give yourself the goal of seeing one in your district, you know?
And I just wanted to say, I shared this at the last allocation meeting, but I'm a recipient of it, so I.
I forgot.
So, yes.
Commissioner Curiel.
Very good, yeah.
Your hand is raised, Commissioner
Okay.
Curiel.
Yes. So I wanted to re-ask something that Clyde was asking, just so I have some clarification. That committee, I'm still on it, and it was just renamed?
No.
The Impact and Access? I'm confused about that.
We're just gonna use, we already have a committee, so we might as well use the people who are familiar with the cultural plan already to be the ones who look at the revisions and decide what we're gonna do with it.
What our recommendations will be.
What recommendations? So
Got it,
because we've
okay.
already been working with the cultural plan.
Okay.
There's no need.
Then I have another question. Is everybody on the Arts Activate round 2 allocations? Everybody on this list, they have been notified? I got a call from one person who, it was last week maybe, that maybe they still didn't know.
They would have been emailed the next day.
There was only one organization that, due to some logistic issues, we waited to get on board, and he's ready too, so.
Okay, good. Okay, I just didn't want to like be blabbing
Nope.
things. That,
Everybody on this list got told in December. So,
okay. All right, thank you.
If there are no more questions or comments on that briefing memo, before we adjourn, I'd like to ask if anyone has any announcements or updating upcoming calendar events for us to mention. Somebody's got something going on. Commissioner Haloma, you're
encouraging. He doesn't know everything. Let's go.
Okay. Commissioner Curiel, is your hand still raised from the last time, or is this a new? Okay. With that being the case, I can't see everyone in the gallery because we still have the. Okay. You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Okay, great. So we are working on our next slide. Or Adriana, back and forth, back and forth. We are going to do our 214 day for Show Love for Dallas, like we did last year. Serendipitously, last year, Valentine's Day was on a Friday, but we're gonna do it on the 13th, which is that Friday as well. We're getting those same donuts, which if you recall are huge, so big, from Voodoo. And of course, a lot of other things. Our event supervisor, Rosalinda Luna, is putting together an event and is doing a really fantastic job. I'm very excited. I think we're making bracelets this year, along with some performances from some great artists. It'll be at, I think it's from, it started at noon.
Noon to 1 p.m.
Noon to 1 p.m. Thank you. I also cannot see. And then on the next slide, please. Just like we did those really impactful engagement sessions with our COP organizations, we're going to continue that for our guideline revision process and recommendation process for the Community Artist Program CAP and for Arts Activate for next year. We have rescheduled that January 20th, so I wanted to make sure that you saw that it was crossed out. But we're doing the January 23rd for CAP at the LCC from 10 a.m. to noon, which is great. That will be in person, obviously, at the LCC. And so we invite all of our commissioners, and Adrienne will get these on your calendars, to come attend to observe. Though we ask that we let our participants in that program really help lead those conversations so we can get their feedback. And then we'll be doing one virtually on January 27th to provide a different set of access for those who can't attend in person for CAP. And then for Arts Activate, we'll be doing the 26th and 27th TBD for locations in February. So we'll be getting those ready to go. We will be having our artist showcase for Arts Activation 2026, which I think is really great. And that is for all of those projects that were not able to get recommended for funding in Arts Activate Round 1 because of our delay due to federal compliance. So all of them, all 10, somehow miraculously are able to show up on the same day at the bathhouse. And so they will be engaged, which is so cool. I'm so excited for this. This is going to turn into something really neat. And so we'll engage with them in a talkback session. And this is how we're fulfilling sort of our their efforts in the Arts Activate application process and the efforts of the allocations committee to recommend those funding dollars. And so that's what they're contracted for, is for this talkback. So we really, really encourage you to come to this. We're going to be asking them questions like, why is it important that the city have, you know, an arts agency and give out funds for these kinds of things? What is the impact of that? All those kind of wonderful things. They'll also be doing, I think it's a 3-minute sort of presentation of what they did. They still had to complete that project, mind you, right, that they had applied for. And so this is our way of recognizing their efforts and paying them for it. And we'll have that.
The date again?
The date is January 30th, which I believe is a Friday. I believe that's Friday. There will be refreshments also served because everyone loves a good snack. Sorry. Anything further? No, that's it. Sorry.
Okay, all right. All business having been conducted, I now announce that the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission meeting is adjourned.
Look at that. Good job.
At 5:45. 5:45.
Beautiful attendance today. Between in person.